What's up, everybody? We're better than ever. I'm Steven. That is Joel. And today we are asking the question, okay, sports have obviously kind of been a thing for our lives. Mainly soccer, but recently, within the last 15 years or so, I've gotten big into like basketball, especially basketball, but also like a little bit of NFL. But for each sport, there's always one specific athlete that got me in that sport. So today I'm asking, which athlete got you into which sport? So I'll start out with one of the lesser ones, I guess, would be NFL. And like I'm obviously a Steelers fan. I have been since 2011-ish. Yeah. So this was like kind of right after they're not back-to-back titles, but their titles like 05, 08. So kind of riding that high a little bit for a few years. But the athlete that really kind of got me to them was Hines Ward.
I knew it was going to be Hines Ward.
The wide receiver. Yeah. Even then, though, he was already like kind of getting a little up there. He was a little older. I think he retired a couple years after that. But the main reason why is because he was on Dancing with the Stars. My mom loved that show, and he was on there, and like a couple football players were on there. They did decently well, and I was like, you know what? I was like, that's kind of cool. Like he's on Dancing with the Stars, blah blah blah. Like, who does he play for? Oh, he plays for the Steelers. And then that's it. Then I saw like the main color, the black and yellow. I'm like,
they have one of the most iconic jerseys.
Yeah, but it's also like at the time too. I'm like, yeah, it's black. That's cool. It's different. And like they are like the only team that predominantly wears black. The Falcons do too, but like not the way the Steelers do. The black and yellow is like iconic. So like after seeing Hines Ward, like seeing him like on the field after watching him on Dancing with the Stars, I'm like, all right, that's a baller right there. And he was great.
He was also in a Batman movie.
Yes, most of the team was in The Dark Knight Rises because Roethlisberger was in it. I think Polamalu was in it. I think maybe was it Harrison maybe in it because they were the Gotham Knights or whatever the fuck football.
He's actually the guy who scored the touchdown.
Yeah, and then he's running all the field is like crumbling behind him, and then he turns around and like half the stadium's gone. Yeah. You guys know the reason too. I was like, all right, cool. Like they're always going to be kind of linked, like fucking Gotham Knights and the Steelers. So Hines Ward got me into NFL. Somebody get you into NFL? What would you do?
So, I can't say there's like a singular person that got me into the NFL. Yeah. I'm definitely a Giants fan. Yeah. I mean, I can definitely rattle off some players that I always was interested in. Like, you know, we had the years where it was like Michael Strahan, who like broke the records for sacks and stuff. Like that was great. You know, Odell a little later. Yeah.
What? I mean, how long? How young were you when you were like really started to like kind of get into the Giants? I'm really watching the Giants.
I was definitely older. Yeah. It was definitely like I was into them when I was younger. Like I watched the sport. Yeah. But it was more so like a family situation thing. Yeah. I wouldn't say I was like following it so aggressively.
No, but I feel like you almost get to a certain age, you're like more aware of it, and you actually pay attention to it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's definitely like those two players I definitely really like. Yeah. I mean, Odell obviously I was an adult at that point, but there's one player in particular I could think of off the top of my head who is just. It was less about him on the field. It was more about him in Madden. And it's Michael Vick.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Vick in
04? Yeah. When he was on the cover and he was unstoppable. Yeah.
You weren't allowed to pick the Falcons because no one threw the ball.
No, you just run to Vick.
You just step back and 30, 40, 50 yards.
Yeah, that's a big one too. That was like the most like, I think like in a lot of surveys and like a lot of rankings, he was like the most like OP like sports.
Oh, yeah.
Not as a character, but sports like athlete, like in any game. He was like unbelievable. Like I was 04 in particular because he was.
You literally couldn't use a whole team because he existed.
I had that jersey too before I really got into football. So same thing. Like I was like, even then, like somebody who was not a football fan. My family was not a football, but not a football family. But I remember like being aware of Vic. Like at the time, he was like obviously really good, and like I had a jersey. I had like a white jersey. Like I wore all the time.
His black jersey was.
Oh yeah, he had a couple nice ones, a couple teams obviously he played on, and great shout.
Yeah, Mike Vick for certain. I mean, like I said, it was less about his football play; it was more about him and Madden.
Oh yeah, at the time, well for us too, like we played more video games, we watched sports.
Yeah, it was like, all right, like 04, how old were you? You know what I mean?
I was 12. Yeah, so yeah, we were playing Madden more than we were watching football. So I was like, all right, cool, who's good in this game? Let me watch that one, whatever. Interesting. But it's funny because we watched Vic, but you still stuck with the Giants.
Yeah. My uncle was a Giants fan. Like, you know, our family was kind of like that. My brother's a weirdo. He became a Jets fan, but like,
there was that one.
There's always that one. But overall, the family stuck pretty blue.
Good. So going on to my second favorite sport, to basketball. Also only got into it around that same time period, 2010, 2011. I think I started watching basketball probably before I started watching football. But it's still, like I said, early 2010, 2011 possibly. And I'm stuck with them for life because I fucking love the Sixers. But I got into it because of Dr. J. And like again, kind of getting a little familiar with basketball. Thanks to like my roommate at the time, like he was a big Knicks fan, or a big Hawks fan, and kind of learning it a little bit and learning about some of the legends. And like the fact that his nickname was Dr. J, he was like the doctor. Like I was the whole like windmill jam and everything. I was just like, you know what, like that's my guy.
And had the afro for
the afro. He had like I think a little goatee to go with it. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool, like. That's my guy, Dr. J, then the fucking cradle or whatever the fuck he did. Like, yeah. And I'm just like, I'm watching highlights all the time. I'm like, all right, cool. He played with Sixers? Great. Let me see how Sixers are doing. At the time, Sixers were terrible. They're still not great, but like, at the time, they were like in the height of like tanking. They were terrible. They were god awful. They were like worse in the East like multiple times. Like,
so it was after Allen Iverson when you got.
Oh yeah. Oh, way after. Because Iverson left in what 03, 04?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think he went MVP in 2001, and like a few years after that, I think he went to Denver or wherever the fuck he went. So this was way after that. So like the only decent player at the time, like big name at the time, was like Iguodala. He was still there during that process era, and then again started the whole process era where they were tanking and rebuilding and everything like that. And like I've stuck with them, but I'm a big Sixers fan now. I fucking watch whenever I can, whenever I try to put them on, and love get way too up for the playoffs. You know, always ends in misery. But all it goes back to Dr. J with that fucking the coolest thing I've ever seen. The fucking Dr. J is my basketball, I would say, icon. You know what I mean? He really got me into it now. I absolutely love basketball. I can watch any game.
Funny enough, Dr. J is the reason why I wear number 6 on every jersey.
Yeah, he told me that, yeah. It's also, too, because like, you don't really associate him with like number 6, the way you associate like other players with certain numbers, you know what I mean? So like, I thought that was interesting.
Speaking of now number 6, used to be number 23. The player that really got me into basketball in general, because he's been in the league now for 20 years.
Yeah, first.
It's insanity. It's LeBron. Like, say what you will about LeBron. You know, some people don't call him the GOAT. Some people do.
I think he is.
I think statistically, he just, if you're going solely off numbers, he's the GOAT.
I saw this disgusting stat the other day where it was something like he had, I think, 1,500 games with double-digit points. Yeah. Okay, this was like a few weeks ago. So 1,500 games with double-digit points. He's like second overall. Okay.
Let's see.
Guess how many games he's played? 1,508. Do you understand how insane that is? He only went 8 games in his career. I mean, maybe it was less than 10. Maybe it was 6. Maybe it was 8. Whatever it was. Less than 8 games in his career without scoring double digits. That's mind-boggling. Yeah, that ratio.
I'm going to assume some of those games he got hurt.
In unbelievable numbers. So yeah, I think numbers-wise, stats, like everything across the board, like numbers don't lie, man.
Yeah.
I think he is the go.
Yeah, like there's lots of arguments that can be made. Yeah. I mean, we won't get into the GOAT debate. Like, I can see why it would be Jordan. I can see why it would be Bill Russell. I can see why it would be LeBron. You know, I can see a bunch of people based on the arguments.
Yeah.
I personally, I think I have LeBron at 2 and Jordan at 1.
I think I still have LeBron 1.
It's very 1A, 1B.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Based on the day, but just based on his play style, he was completely not selfish. He passed the ball a lot. He made sure he got all the rebounds. He blocked the ball a lot. He was a great defender. 1 through 5, which a lot of people don't give him credit for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even then, 1 through 4, if you don't, it's saying it's knock up the center.
Sure.
1 through 4, great defender.
Yeah, anywhere on the board,
You know, the chase down blocks. You know, his ability to read the defense, read the offense.
Defense is underrated.
Yeah, I think it's very underrated.
His defense is
people just lean on the fact that he didn't get a lot of DPOYs, but like,
so what?
Who cares?
Look at everything else he did.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fine.
I mean, on top of the fact that he should have way more MVPs, but because of voter fatigue, he didn't get them.
Yeah, no, of course. But even like look at the finals. He went to what? 10 finals in a row.
10.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I wish he won more of them. But
no, of course we did. But like with multiple teams.
Mm-hmm. And some of the times he brought teams, like the first time he went with the Cavs against like
that team was not good.
No, it was horrible. horrible.
Not good. That was against the Warriors. But then too.
No, against the Spurs. The first time he went in his career was against the Spurs, and that team was god awful. There was one time he went against the Warriors where he had nobody in his team anymore because K-Love was hurt and Kyrie was hurt.
So yeah, it's also coming against like super teams. It's literally like fucking unbelievable super teams all put together, and it just LeBron with a bunch of like.
He always had his own super teams too. Don't get me wrong, but like
no, he looked in Miami.
But even then, with two super teams on the court, there was one series LeBron lost where he led both teams in every single stat.
Everything.
No, like
the numbers don't lie.
Assists, blocks, rebounds.
Yep.
Everything that was important. I think even steals. He led everything.
Don't lie.
It's insane.
Numbers don't lie. And
but yeah. So the player that got me into basketball and kind of kept me there, and I'm still following his career now, is LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very wrecked when he's done.
Oh, yes. We got to see him for it. This might be the year. Because now that he's playing LeBron
might as
and
well
stuff
play
like that.
Watch against the Sixers this year.
To be cheap as fuck, yeah. But yeah, we got to see him. So now to our main sport. Soccer, and I was kind of a late bloomer with soccer. Again, family growing up, we watched the national team as always did, but like I wasn't too aware. I knew they were watching, I knew they were playing, but like I didn't give two shits about it. Yeah. And they were always my family, like mother's side and father's side, most of them were Benfica fans. So they always had the game on like on the weekend, and like all right, cool, whatever, Portugal, great, cool, whatever. I didn't really know too much about it. Didn't really care. And then. It was the 2006 World Cup. I was a highly impressionable 14-year-old. And then, so this is funny because you talked about football, about like playing Madden first to kind of be familiar with that, and like I was not playing soccer games at all. Yeah. So I went to the 2006 World Cup as a 14-year-old, obviously following Portugal, and then Ronaldo like kind of burst onto the scene. Like I know he was in the Euros like 2 years prior, but like that I was at the point where I was just like familiar with it, but not really kind of caught up on it, And then so when that following them, and then obviously they had a great run, like they went to the semifinals. And that was like the end of their tournament, but like it completely changed my whole here's a mascot and a boy, ain't that right, Bubba's? So in 2006, like completely changed my whole trajectory on life. Like soccer became everything to me, and like a lot of it has to do with Ronaldo, because now I was like, all right, cool. Same thing with like Heinz Ward. Who does he play for? Oh, he plays for Manchester United. Well, there's my team. Yeah. And now they're also for life, and my fucking heart and soul is in that fucking team, and they drive me crazy every goddamn weekend. But it was because of Ronaldo. And then I also, again, very, very different compared to like today's Sixers. Like I went to United, and they were like top of the world at the time.
Oh yeah, they were disgusting.
I started following them like in beginning of the 2006 season. 2 years later, they won like the double. They won the Champions League, and then obviously it was insane. And then their insane history of the '90s, and I got really into it. I've watched countless documentaries. I've read books about like the '99 season and stuff like that, and like I can't imagine like what my life would be like now before, or what it was like before soccer. Yeah. Because like, I think about it all the time. I'm just like, what the fuck was I into? You know what I mean? What did I do Saturday mornings? Like, what the fuck was I... We
know what we did Saturday mornings. Like, Saturday morning cartoons, brother.
Yeah, not at 14, 13. Oh, actually, yeah, probably. But, like, I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, bro, I don't know what I was into back then, because this came in like a fucking tsunami and just wiped me off my feet. Like, it is completely. It is completely taken over my life. And a lot of that has to do... A lot of it boils down to the Ronaldo 2006 World Cup.
Bro, yeah.
Wild.
So mine is kind of like a two-part answer. I'm going to lean on FIFA for half a second, but I wouldn't say this is the player that got me into it.
Sure.
But in terms of the video game side of it, the player that I was most like enamored with for whatever reason was Pavel Nedved, of all people.
Yeah. Well, so he did win the Ballon d'Or in like 2004. So out of it, maybe that was just like, all right, he's like at the time he was like the greatest player.
Yeah. So my brother was playing FIFA all the time because he was in college. Yeah. And, he brings FIFA home. We start playing FIFA. I just start playing incessantly. Yeah. Eventually, I get to the point where I'm like, I try to find a team I like. Yeah. Juventus was happy to be really good at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I played with them. And they had Del Piero on the team, Trezeguet, all these players. But I ended up playing with Nedved the most because I just realized every time I gave him the ball, I was able to run up and down the field without any issues.
Yeah, he was insane.
I would give him weird nicknames that definitely weren't his nicknames.
Yeah, your brother always gave players weird nicknames.
Yeah, me and my brother were notorious for it. And then we would do that the rhyming game. But
yeah.
But, Pavel Nedved was definitely that player that got me, like, in that FIFA side of it. Yeah. But the reason why I watched the sport in general is because me and you became friends.
Yeah.
So I have to say the reason why I watched the sport is because of Ronaldo. Ronaldo is my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
I didn't support United, but
no, we still appreciate it.
Yeah, I respect the team. I went to a game last year. This year. You should. That was this year.
It was early this year.
It's felt like forever ago.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I always, love him, and I support him no matter what he does.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the GOAT, necessarily.
It's tough.
It's a hard argument to sell now.
Yeah, he's the best goal scorer of all time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's debatable. He's closing in on, he has 916 goals, something like that. So, like, I think he'll eventually get 1,000. He has to play for a few more years. It won't be in the top 5 league, but, like, I think he might be able to get it. I think maybe that's what he's waiting for, too. Maybe he's trying to hit that 1,000 and call it a day. But
is that with his international goals, too?
Yeah, all fucking 146 of them,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the same thing with LeBron, right? So my thing with Ronaldo is, like, he was the hardest worker.
Yeah.
He's arrogant. I get it. People don't like him for that. He's flashy. Totally, I get it. But you can't deny the fact that the guy worked harder than anyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All of the pundits say it. You know what I mean? Like, he was the guy that he was there first. He was there last. He trained with everyone.
He showed up early. He would practice on his own. Like, kept his body in tip-top shape. Like, wouldn't eat dessert. Like, he was.
Look at that. He's still playing now.
Yeah, 39, 40.
All his other teammates are commentators now.
Yeah, pundits.
Look at Wayne Rooney.
Criticizing.
Looking like Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, he looks terrible. The same thing. He's a little younger. Yeah, he looks like shit. But it's just he's always on top of it, and like no other players are playing at that level at 40 years old. You know what I mean? Like, that's because dedication and hard work and everything.
Yeah. Everyone just appreciated that.
No, of course. And, like, I'm not... So, segueing into this, like, I do hope we get a chance to see him, because I never did.
Yeah.
It'd be hard. It would have to be some kind of, like, friendly or whatever. Like, don't see how it will happen, but it's somewhat possible, I guess.
It'd have to be, like, some weird situation. I'm not going to Saudi Arabia to watch him play.
No. I should have went when he was still at United for those 2 years, a year and a half, whatever.
Well, you probably still should be at United, but Ten Hag is a different animal.
No, don't get into that. But segueing into that, my next question is: so a lot of these players, except Ronaldo, are retired. Except LeBron.
LeBron and Ronaldo are still playing, but
obviously Dr. J's ball retired. Heinz Ward way retired. So I was thinking, I don't want to bring it up. Which athletes do you wish you saw live? And I got a couple answers. One of them is obvious. I think it's on everybody's list right now. But I'm going to work down mine a little bit. So I have 2 soccer players, 2 basketball players. Okay. So basketball, I'll start with Allen Iverson. People say he was like one of the best handlers of all time.
Yeah.
I only see that in highlights. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I saw that. Like, I also wish I was into basketball all the time. I just wasn't. But going into it knowing like he was like such like a just a few years prior, like he was such a big influence of the team, such a big part of the team. Like last Sixer to win MVP, like last time we went to the finals, like he was all there. And I just kind of missed that train.
All off one move. One crossover.
Well, has he? Yeah, that's it. Go on.
Oh,
yeah. He was quick. Apparently, people say he was the best handler. He was this. Blah blah.
I wouldn't say he's the best handler of all time, but he's definitely he's one of the reasons why we have the handlers we do now.
Oh yeah, influential, absolutely influential. So
he's the reason why everyone wears a sleeve.
I definitely wish I saw him. My other basketball one, I got things on a lot of people's list. It's Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe was the basketball one I have.
Yeah, it's Kobe. And when he passed away, R.I.P. Kobe. I was.
Do you know where you were?
I was sitting at home. I was sitting on my couch.
It's one of those moments in life where everyone knows where they were. Yeah. I was in LA Fitness.
I couldn't believe it. I was looking at my phone. I was like, "There's no way. There's no way." The wife was just like, "What's going on? What happened?" I was like, "Kobe died." My wife's like, "Kobe who?" And I was like,
she's a vegetarian.
I was like, shut the fuck up. Kobe Beef Bryant. And I'm just like, I'm sitting like in a chair in my living room. And I'm like looking at my phone. I'm just like, there ain't no way. Yeah. There ain't no fucking way. Not Kobe. Like nobody but please not Kobe. And like it was just like I was sad. I don't know. The first time I was really sad over like an athlete dying. I'm just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I went back.
It's a celebrity in general.
You know, exactly. It's Kobe. It's fucking Kobe, man. So I remember looking back over the years, like I remember thinking like, oh, like I went back to like my fucking Twitter. All the times like I said the word Kobe, I searched it, and a few times back in like 2013, 2014, like, oh man, I gotta see Kobe before he retires. Oh man, I gotta see Kobe. Maybe we'll see Kobe at the Garden. I never did. So that was such a huge regret because he fucking obviously passed away right after he retired. What, a year after he retired? Like not even 6 months, whatever the fuck it was. And that was it. Now then it really hit me hard because I'm just like, fuck, like I should have fucking seen him. Yeah. Like I really wanted to. Like he was obviously like one of the GOATs and like missed that chance. And like I was so sad when he died. But like that's the only person dead on my list that like I wish I saw. Because obviously you can just go back and be like, oh, I wish I saw Eusebio, like the old Portuguese legend. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like Kobe was relevant in our generation.
Well, Kobe was like he was around, so like we knew what he was doing. Of
course, yeah.
81-point game. You know what I mean? Like
we saw him
championships.
Yeah, we saw him win championships. Yeah, like his, you know, even then, like I wasn't familiar with basketball, but like I know the whole thing with like him and Shaq and that fucking 2000 team or 2001 team, whatever it was. Like, yeah, fucking doing bits over there and like just missed it, man.
Yeah.
So my other soccer ones, I have. So this one is a huge influence on a whole generation of Portuguese players.
Portuguese players.
Portuguese players, yeah. I think he's the reason why. Well, you kind of say Ronaldo made it famous, but the whole reason why number 7 is very important in Portugal is Luis Figo. The
traitor.
Yeah, no, number 1 traitor first off. That documentary was crazy. That was great. What a bizarre fucking move. Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League winner, like won the league multiple times, won the Italian league multiple times. Like Figo was great, but I wish I saw him because of how influential he was. Like he's the reason why I think Ronaldo wore 7, at least for the national team. So the whole number 7 thing was the whole United curse. I'll get into later. But like he influenced a whole generation of wingers that we saw when we got into it. Ronaldo, Figo, Quaresma, like all these wingers we saw like come a direct like result of Figo's influence at the time. And like I wish I saw him play for the national team, and like I didn't. I saw a couple of Portuguese legends, like when I saw like Benfica come here and play friendly. But at the time I think Figo was either on Milan already or like about to move to Milan. And I just never saw him. Like I would love to see him play because he is Portuguese icon before Ronaldo. He was Ronaldo before Portugal. Never hit those highs as Ronaldo, but still
forced Ronaldo to wear number 9.
No, that was Raul. No, Figo's already gone. That was Raul.
Cut that.
Yeah, that was Raul at Real Madrid. He wore number 7. Then he left, and Ronaldo wore number 9. Yeah. So my other one, also an iconic number 7. People say he was one of the greatest players to ever put on a United shirt. It's icon, skillful. He's called King for a reason. It's Eric Cantona.
We met him.
I did have the pleasure of briefly meeting him. By meeting him, I mean I asked to take a photo. He said yes. Took a photo. I said thank you. He walked away. So yes, I guess you can say I met him. Yeah. But Eric Cantona, they call him the King. They call him King Eric, and he was such a big part of the '90s, and like United obviously being like a dominant force in the '90s. Like he was behind all that, and he was such a fucking character on and off the fucking field. On the field, he floated around. He was skillful. He had insane vision. He could finish like nobody else. Like he was the fucking popped collar he wore all the time. Like he was such a big influence, like on and off the field, and such a big part of like that number 7 legend, I guess, of United. It started with George Best. It went on to Brian Robson. Then it went to Cantona. And then Beckham wore it a couple years later. Then it went on to Ronaldo. Like kind of keeping on the number 7 thing. Like something about those number 7s, like big influence on me as well. But like also seeing like why these numbers are so popular, and like Figo and Cantona like are so influential for their own respective teams. Like such icons, and like I wish I saw them live. I wasn't into United at the 90s. I was also a literal child.
It was probably hard to watch them in that era for us.
Yeah, especially, yeah. I don't know if games were played here in the 90s like they are now. No idea.
I doubt it.
But being a fan, after the fact, and then seeing all this influence, and all right, who were number 7 before that? It was always Beckham. Who were before that? And this iconic number 7, and what a character he was. He was my senior quote. My senior quote was content. It was, I don't even remember what it was right now, and I got obsessed. I was just like, he's the coolest fucking player I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. So those are my 4 athletes I wish I saw live.
Yeah.
To reiterate, it's Kobe, Allen Iverson, Luis Figo, and Eric Cantona.
So we both aligned to Kobe, so I'm not going to retouch on Kobe again. Yeah. Legend. I really wish I saw him.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the greatest players of all time. But as a player, completely different sport, in soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, that I really wish I saw. Even though he played for the different team that I supported, even though, sometimes even his numbers don't even really line up to his career. But he's influential on everyone that touched the ball in that era. Everyone.
Sorry, could you say that again?
No, Siri.
Everyone. It's Ronaldinho.
Oh, yeah.
It's Ronaldinho.
Oh, great shout. Yeah.
He was the reason why everyone tried doing the snake dribble, tried to juggle, tried to do everything.
Oh, my God.
Around the world, it's he played the game in a way that was so effortless.
Yeah.
He just genuinely just waltzed around people. And he put the ball over top of people. Yeah. Oh my God. Amazing.
He made it look fun.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He made it look fun. He made it look like this is a literal game, a one-on-one. How can I beat this player as creatively as possible?
And I remember hearing I can think of so many different skill highlights of his.
Yeah. Oh my God. All of them.
They're legendary.
Yeah, all set to different music and stuff like that. All these compilations, everything. Yeah, he was even at PSG before he went to Barcelona. He was insane.
Animal.
You want to talk about influence? Oh my God, everybody. You name any tricky winger, it was because of him. He used skills as his fucking first weapon. It was all right, cool. I'm gonna dribble past you some kind of way. I'm gonna
smiled at you with horse teeth the whole time.
He was always smiling. He was always smiling. He just loved it. He made it look so much fun. He was having a great time. And that's one of the few players you can say really enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
Every time he's on the field, he was having the time of his life. Even when he went to Milan a little later in his career. Still great. Still dancing around players. Still scoring. He still
does it now.
Yeah.
Against a senior players, but he'll still flick it over people.
Oh yeah. He'll play charity games. Absolutely. He still
embarrasses his people.
Exactly. And that is a great shout. Ronaldinho is in his own right, in his own little world, one of the best at what he did.
Is he the greatest player of all time? Hell no.
No, but he was the most fun to watch, probably.
Yeah.
Every time you get the ball at his feet, you're just everyone's on the edge of the seat trying to see what he would do next. He was that player. That's a great shout.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I really wish I saw Ronaldinho.
Yeah. All right. So those are athletes we wish we saw live, and the athletes that got us into our respective sports. So hope you enjoyed. Once again, I'm Steven. That is Joel. Cash is down there. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.